I'm Kaitlin.
And I am Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast,
where two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
We're back!
Yay!
More Romance as a Bonus Book.
Mm-hmm.
Episodes 11 and 12 to be
These
exact.
episodes were very good.
I know.
So good. Like, we were kind of squealing.
Yeah. I was literally, like, shaking Alex and being like, oh my god!
And I was like,
Jill could not handle hers. I think she was, like, trying to crawl inside of her during certain points.
There's a lot of no.
Stop.
Why? Oh,
so,
goodness.
Yeah, we're excited.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, the Netflix synopsis for episode 11 is, Donnie tries to downplay the episode with Yoonho, but he sees their situation differently. When the book concert hits a snag, her past comes in handy.
That's an okay synopsis.
That is an okay synopsis. I feel like it fully covers the episode. Unlike some of them where they're like, hey, you remember that 3-minute section?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 11 starts with Donnie in the restroom thinking about her kiss with Yoonho. She's kind of thinking out loud to herself, like, it's nothing. It was just a pet. It was basically like two people headbutting and their faces touching. And so then she's really embarrassed when Miss So comes out of a stall and she's like, okay, girl, you kiss someone? And she's like kind of doing like the wink, wink, you know, nudge, nudge kind of thing. And then Miss Go comes out of another stall and they're both like really embarrassed, especially Donnie. And Miss So is also kind of like, haha, that sucks for you. This is real embarrassing. And so then the cute girl whose name I still don't know.
Yeah,
the one who
I don't think they've said her name at all.
Yeah, if they did, it was really quickly in passing. But she's like on the editing team and she always looks cute. She comes out of the other stall and
after they've left.
After everyone's gone. And she's like, oh shit, Donnie kissed someone. And so then she goes and immediately gossips to Park Hoon.
Who's like the biggest gossip in town.
Yes. And I was like, oh fuck. I kind of feel like I'd be that girl.
Oh yeah, you definitely would.
But only if, like, Park Hoon is actually, like, my good friend. Like, I would go up to tell you, but I wouldn't just tell some random coworker.
Absolutely. I thought it was funny they were all in the restroom at the same time.
I'm like, Donnie, you're not, like, peeking under stalls to see if anyone's in there. Like, I just immediately, whether I'm trying to keep a secret or not, I'm, like, looking under stalls to see if I'm alone. These people, they just have no concept of...
And she's talking out loud, too, in a public place about something she's already confused and embarrassed about. I would not be saying that out loud.
No, especially not at work.
No. Where
you're trying to hide your freaking past.
Whole life. I'm glad she didn't say Yoonho.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would have been insane. Ugh. Okay.
Gosh. God, Donnie. Get it together, man. So, as the cute girl is talking to Park Hoon about Donnie's kiss, Yoonho walks in. Yoonho walks in with Park Hoon. And they kind of, like, separate a little bit. And so Yoonho is, like, a few paces ahead of Park Hoon. And when the girl is like, Donnie kissed a younger guy, he's like, whoa? Like, he, like, stumbles. And so he's just kind of, like, hanging back and eavesdropping on their conversation. He's like, oh, yeah. Like,
that cat ear's turning back to listen.
Yeah, he's doing me. And he's feeling, like, pretty good. Like, yeah, that happened. And I love how the girl's like, man, Donnie's so trendy. It's cool to date a younger guy now.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yoonho finds Donnie in the library area and she tries to hide from him. She's so bad at doing that. She, like, pulls into the other side of, like, the little library shelf. And he teases her by calling her the woman he loves and saying, last night was nice. And she freaks out about it. And, like, all of these scenes are pretty cute. But also I'm like, damn, he's suddenly real pushy.
He's like, real confident.
Yeah, it's crazy. She keeps telling him no, like, she keeps giving him those signals, like, this is nothing. You're like my brother. And he's just like, no, you love me. Like, that was fun. Let's kiss, blah, blah, blah. And he's getting in her face and everything.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
At times it gets more so later on when they're at the house cleaning that we'll get to later. But there were moments where I was like, Jesus.
Yeah,
I don't know how I would feel.
It kind of, like, it does read as, like, he's just kind of picking on her. Because, to me, she doesn't know how much he actually does love her. Like, it could, like, from someone else's perspective, it could just be like he felt the moment and he just kissed her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of teasing her like, oh, I love you so much, ha ha ha. Or it could be like, no, he's really fucking in love with you for like 20 years or something.
Yeah. I feel like if I was in her position, I'd be a little bit nervous and confused. And I keep telling him no, but he keeps coming back. And I have to live with this person. It's a little bit awkward. But he's handsome. So as you say, it's always okay somehow suddenly because he's good looking.
Yeah, he's not a creep.
Miss Go then goes into the president's office and she's telling him good news about an author. And he notices a button is loose on her jacket, on her sleeve. Mm-hmm. And you noted that you think this will come into play later. Me during this scene, I was like, he's a total cat. He, like, this little string that's dangling in his eyes are just following it. It looks really funny.
Yeah, and she's like, you're listening to me, right? And he's like, yeah. When he's
you always
totally
do great.
not.
You always do a good job. It's so funny. Such a strange scene.
I know. Because I feel like Miss Go has a crush on Mr. Kim.
I agree. They're both successful. Mm-hmm. They both do important things in the business.
Mm-hmm. They're both single. Mm-hmm. Well, I think. I mean, he's a widower.
It doesn't seem like he's dating anyone.
Yeah. He has his daughters. Mm-hmm. So.
There's room there.
Yeah.
Something can happen. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I just want everyone to be happy.
I know. You want everyone to be happy. Everyone to be together. Uh-huh. Just great time.
Mm-hmm. So Ji-yool comes around the office and hands out a written apology to everyone to make up for her massive fuck-up. And the letter is actually really bad. It's really informal.
She's so sweet, but so dumb.
I know. Like, how does she get through life? Her mom helps her, I guess.
She should have had, well, I guess she can't anymore. I was going to say she should have had her mom's people write the letter, but I don't think they're helping anymore.
No, because of Park-hoon.
Yeah.
So the letter basically tells everyone that she actually didn't really want to work there, but she was surprised she got hired, and she's going to work really hard now because she's realized how much she enjoys what she does. And it's just really bad. Like, reading the letter, you're like, oh my god. Like, it's almost insulting.
It was written by a child.
Yes, it sounds like it was written by a child. And it's almost kind of insulting.
Mm-hmm, like backhanded compliments. Like,
exactly.
I didn't want to work here, but I got the job.
So I guess I figured I should try. But now I actually really like it, and I'm really sorry. So Mr. Bong is pretty sweet, and he kind of, like, pulls her to the side and is like, hey, this is all the stuff that you got grammatically wrong. And, like, as an editor, you should probably know that. But he says it in, like, a very gentle way.
I like that she's interested in what he's writing, too. Yeah. She's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the thing about Ji-yool is she doesn't seem disinterested to learn. She's just not motivated to do it herself. She's just not proactive.
When I first saw her, when she got hired, I thought she was going to be an annoying, like, rich, prissy girl. And she's totally not like that at all. Yeah. She's rich. She's dumb as fuck. But she's sweet.
Yeah. And I think she, you know, like, her asking Haiti, like, well, show me how to do this. And it is one of those things where some people just, like, kind of need to have their hand held. And she seems like one of those people.
Especially someone as privileged as her.
Yeah, where she'll do the work if you, like, coddle her.
Yeah. But I don't think the people at that office have, like, really know what her home situation is like and how privileged she was. Yeah. And they probably weren't privileged like that. Yeah. So for them, it's just, like, this rich girl whose mom buys her an office chair that's super fancy. Also, doesn't know how to do anything.
She's 27. She should know how to fucking do stuff by now. It would be one thing if she was, like, 19. Yeah. Which, still, even at 19, I don't think I was that
stupid.
Clueless. But, anyway. So it's sweet. Like, we can see this Ji-yool's trying to turn a new leaf. And then Yoonho and Hae-rin are kind of, like, off in the library area again. And they're arguing about how to handle Ji-yool because Hae-rin is like, I wish she would just quit. Like, she fucking sucks. And Yoonho tells her, like, you need to be more patient with her. You need to, like, help her. You're her mentor. And Hae-rin is kind of like, well, you were kind of mean to me, and that's how I had a crush on you, blah, blah, blah. Basically, she can't get over Yoonho still. And she's bringing it up at work. So he tells her that she needs to stop being a crybaby, which harsh. Yeah. And basically he's like, stop bringing this up or we can't be friends. and she tells him not to date anyone else while she's trying to get over him. And so all the while, Donnie's overhearing this, and Yoonho kind of sees that Donnie's overhearing this. So we're kind of like, uh-oh. But obviously Yoonho doesn't really care about hating things.
I do think it's important that he tells her, you need to stop this.
Yeah.
Or we can't be friends. Because then otherwise, he could say something or do something that automatically leads her on again. Or makes her think, oh, he's interested in me.
Yeah.
And it just hurts her all over again. Whereas him being upfront, like, no, stop. It tells her, this is real. I don't like you. We're just friends. Yeah. And I think that's important for her to hear and understand.
Yes. Yoonho is a great guy. Mm-hmm. I can see why she fell for him.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about all of his great attributes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool guy. Mm-hmm. Haerin then gives Donnie a copy of Sojun's contract. And I think she's supposed to make a copy of it. She's supposed to...
Yeah, or like deliver it.
Or something. And she's kind of just skimming through it, and she sees that he was born on April 23rd, and she has an aha moment because that title was brought up on their first date about that mysterious author whose book is titled April 23rd. And you asked why the contract has his birthday on there, and I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking because it seems like just a contract, and then I thought, well, maybe it's like an HR thing, yeah. But then I thought, why I don't know. It was just weird. It was like, how can we get his birthday out? Yeah, we'll just put it on the contract. Yeah, I'm like, why is Donnie handling HR paperwork?
Who knows what Donnie's job is
IDK.
At this point. Yoonho goes to buy groceries to make dinner for he and Donnie, but she stays at work late with Miss So, but tells him she's out on a date since it's Friday. Mm-hmm. And this is her kind of trying to get out of that relationship aspect.
Some distance.
Yeah. Make him understand that she's not interested in him. She also calls herself his sister. And at that point, he's like, sister, I'm sick of that word.
Yeah.
I hate that word. It's really funny. Mm-hmm. Miss So and Donnie keep working on the book concert that she's planning. And it's for that older woman that he interviewed on the podcast. Miss Go is with her and they decide to have late night snacks. She's like, do you want to eat something? Donnie's very excited to have snacks. Mm-hmm. And Miss Go is walking out at that time. And they ask her, do you want to have snacks with us? And she says, no. Mm-hmm. Don't want to hang with you guys.
I want her to hang out with them again.
I know. I think they would be a cute little trio of ladies.
Yeah, because they all kind of have their own distinct personalities, but they're all really fun together.
They fit well.
Yeah.
So she declines. She leaves paperwork at the president's office, and she's admiring a photo of his daughters, and the button on her blazer falls off at that point. And then the snack delivery guy shows up, and he's handing Donnie and Miss So the snacks, and they both look at him, and they're looking at each other like, isn't that the guy Miss Go was engaged to? Mm-hmm. And it kind of flashes back to Miss Go showing them the portrait of the two of them.
I'm really impressed they recognized him.
I wouldn't have recognized him, especially when they were so drunk.
Yeah, and the picture, it's just his profile.
Yeah.
So
they have a good eye.
Good job, guys.
I wouldn't have recognized him.
No way.
Especially seeing that photo in a drunken state.
Yeah.
But they're kind of in shock. They don't know what to do. And then they see that Miss Go is walking in, and she's like, I'll pay for it. And she hands him the card. Neither of them are making eye contact, though. She's looking at her wallet, and he's doing the payment stuff. And then he hands her the card, and they both look at each other, and their eyes lock, and they both tear up.
Yeah.
And all of us were kind of like, ugh. And then Donnie and Miss So were like, ugh.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what to do. And they were frozen. And
everyone's just not breathing.
Yeah, she wasn't taking the card. And then fucking Donnie comes up and takes the card, and she's like, your card.
Yeah. I'm like,
and breaks that moment.
Donnie, just let everyone live in this awkward tension for a bit.
I don't know why she grabbed the card. It was weird. But anyway, the guy leaves really quickly, and Miss So is not good at playing this cool, and she's like, is that the guy? And Miss Go pretends she doesn't know what she means. She's like, I have to go. Enjoy your snacks or whatever. And she leaves pretty nonchalant, no big deal. And then as she's walking out, she runs into him. And he's standing outside on his, like, motorcycle or, like, little scooter cart thingy. And he stops her and they talk for a little bit. And he asks her how she's doing and if she's married. And she lies and says yes, but doesn't have any kids. And he tells her, like, that he's really happy for her and he thought she wouldn't get married or move on. He's like, I already have 3 kids of my own. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you can tell that she's completely heartbroken.
Yeah.
It's fucking sad.
Yeah, and she kind of asks him, like, oh, so, because I guess he was, like, a stockbroker or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, it didn't work out for me, so I've just kind of been, like, moving around. And I like how he's not like, yeah, my life's fucking amazing. Like, he tells her, like, yeah, I've had some ups and downs, but, like, kind of on an upswing. Like, my wife and I own this restaurant together, blah, blah, blah.
He seems really sweet.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. And, yeah, I feel so bad for Misko. Not because I'm like, oh, she really missed out, but more just like, I can only imagine how heartbreaking.
Because she's still been pining over him all these years, and she still had some regret about actually leaving. Because it's not like he did anything bad. He wasn't like Donnie's ex, who was a fucking asshole, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to marry him. Like, Misko just got scared of that commitment.
Yeah.
Not because he's a jerk.
Just because she didn't know if that's how she wanted her life to be. And I think, like, they do a flashback, and she says, like, I feel like if I run into him on the street, it means, like, we're meant to be together. And
then hearing him say, like, me and my wife are very happy. Yeah, we have 3 kids. Fucking broke that.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, that was sad. That was one of those moments where I was like, no. Very uncomfortable. So she goes home and she's looking at her old wedding stuff, and she's got, like, a bunch of photographs of them prior to their wedding day, like, all dressed up. And she rips up the photos and she's crying. It's a really sad moment. But hopefully this would mean then that she'll actually get over him.
Yeah.
Knowing that he has moved on and he is married, he has kids, he's happy.
There's some closure.
She's not just wondering where he is and what is he doing. Is he happy and stuff? So hopefully now that means she can move on, and then maybe Mr. President can come on in. Yeah, you know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So the next day, Donnie and Yoonho spend the day cleaning.
As you say in K-dramas, it happens often.
Yes, all these freaking cleaning scenes. They need to show off their Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Yes, you mentioned that too.
But, I don't know why they have to show them fucking dusting.
Yeah, we kept saying while watching, like, Yoonho's place is fucking clean. Yeah. What are they cleaning? It looks amazing. That's right, he does. Unless he never hired a new one.
I don't know, maybe. But also, yeah, they call it, like, spring cleaning, so maybe they're, like, deep cleaning, but I don't know.
I don't know. His house already looks impeccable.
Yeah. I mean, way cleaner
so does Sojun's place.
Yeah.
These dudes have incredible places.
I'm wondering, I mean, I know, well, I guess in American TV shows, people's houses do look a little bit more cluttered.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these just look like freaking showroom houses. I'm wondering how clean people's houses are in Korea. I'm thinking, like, my friend Danielle's mom, who is, like, Korean, from Korea, her house is always really clean, too. And, like, they didn't have a lot of clutter. So, I don't know. Maybe
Americans usually have a fuck ton of clutter.
Yeah.
We buy too much
stuff. Anyway, so...
I feel like I throw stuff out, and it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, you, like, throw stuff out and then buy 2 more things to replace.
I'll, like, clean out an entire closet of, like, art stuff, and I'll reorganize it, and it looks all great, and then 3 weeks later, I'm like, what is all this shit?
That's what I do to, like,
fuck?
Our bathroom cabinet. I'm like, okay, the towels are gonna go here, this is where our first aid kit, this is where all my hair stuff is, this is Alex's stuff, and it looks like
disaster in a couple of weeks.
Yes, it looks really organized, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, this is how people live. Organized. And then I'm like, why are all these towels
Why is everything falling? I feel you.
Okay, I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
So, they're cleaning, and all the while, Donnie's kind of trying to establish herself as a big sister. And that she doesn't see Yoonho as a man, but he's, like, really good at flirting, and, like, again, kind of pushing her buttons. And I really like the moment, this is kind of before they start cleaning, but Yoonho opens Donnie's door to be like, hey, let's do this thing. And Donnie, like, gets really flustered and hides herself behind the open door, and Yoonho peeks in.
It's such a great moment.
Yes, and he's looking around, and he's thinking, like, where is she? But I think he kind of knows, like, she's behind the door, because then he, like, closes the door to give Donnie more room behind it, and then she's like, okay, and then he, like...
hits her with the door.
Really fast. It's really cute.
I feel like her body movement in that scene is really good. Just the way she swings around behind the door with her arms flailing in the air, trying to be very quiet.
Such a good scene. But anyway, so he keeps kind of being like, my Donnie. And she's like, I don't fucking like you. Stop. So it all kind of escalates when Donnie starts throwing shit from the fridge at Yoonho. Because he's kind of, like, again, pushing her buttons from afar. And so she starts throwing stuff at him. And he's like, I like it when you hit me. It makes me like you more, blah, blah, blah. And, like, this doesn't hurt. And then she hits him in the face with, like, a bag of lettuce or something. I just said it was lettuce, but it's a bag.
Yeah, it looked like some sort of vegetable.
And that's what takes Yoonho down. Even though she threw, like, a can at him. But whatever. So then we get a, like, pretty classic K-drama scene where she's cleaning his wound.
Tiniest little scratch.
Yes.
Oof, so painful.
I've noticed, I don't know why it's taking me this long, but I'm like, this is such a trope. Like, in every K-drama, it's like the main woman cleans the wound of the main dude.
Happened in Descendants.
Yeah. I mean, she was a doctor, but still. But yeah, it happens in Touch Your Heart. I can... Basically all of them. People are cleaning wounds. So, I guess it's like a good excuse for the two people to be really close to each other.
A little touch.
And touching. Yeah.
One finger.
Let me rub ointment on your cheek. So, Yoonho has a really romantic line. He talks about how he can see himself in her eyes. And then she gets kind of flustered and is like, put the Band-Aid on yourself. And walks away and, like, cools herself down in the fridge.
She's so dramatic.
I know. So,
she's trying to talk her down, too.
Yeah, it's really funny. And then Yoonho, like, kind of comes and she's washing dishes. And he's like, look how manly I'm washing the dishes. Like, look at how strong I am. And, like, you want to touch my bicep? I don't know. Gosh. I find this really funny because, to me, it doesn't seem like Yoonho's being serious. If he was being serious, it would be, like, kind of gross. But yeah. I kind of feel like it's almost like he's falling into that little brother thing. Like, I'm pushing your buttons, ha ha.
But I like you, ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, those are strange but cute scenes. I enjoy them. They're really funny. And she seems to be enjoying herself, too, in that moment. Yeah. She's giggling at him and, like, he's trying to get her to poke at his muscles and touch them. And she's kind of laughing.
I think Yoonho kind of can pick up on this, that Donnie does like him. And I think she is starting to recognize that she likes him, but she doesn't want to let herself like him because, you know, there's too much baggage and stuff.
Yeah. They move on to the office, and Yoonho asks Donnie about her date with Sojun the night before, the one she lied about. And he makes a comment about how Donnie seems bothered by the situation, and she tells him to stop and to go clean the bathroom. So we see Yoonho then being super giddy in the shower, thinking about Donnie, and he's like soaping up the glass of the shower, talking about like my Donnie, and she's so cute, and he's writing something with the soap.
I think he writes her name.
Okay, he's writing with her name in soap. It's a really cute scene. He's so happy and excited, and just a big old doofus. And then Donnie tells him that she's heading out to meet Sojun. And she tells Yoonho to finish cleaning the house. And at that point, he's kind of like, the fuck?
Like, why?
And he's like, why did I decide to clean today then?
He's like, I don't want to clean anymore.
His whole point, I think, was to clean and be with her. For the two of them to clean. She ends up meeting Sojun, but really, she's only there to see Goombi. Yay!
The
MVP. So apparently, she's going to hang out with Goombi while Sojun gets some sleep, since he's been working on the draft for that book really late. And hasn't gotten much sleep. So she tells him, like, I'll spend time with him and we'll go to the park and for a walk and stuff. And whenever you wake up, just text me or call me and I'll bring him by. So she's having a great time with Goombi. And Sojun is finally starting to fall asleep, but Hae-rin calls him. And she starts to talk about work. And it's the weekend and he's like, can we talk about this later? Like, it's the weekend. Don't you enjoy the weekend? But she tells him, like, hey, I'm in your neighborhood at a cafe. Come hang out. We'll finalize the design and get things done. So Yoonho then goes through Donnie's room while he's cleaning and putting away her laundry. Very sweet that he's putting away her clothes.
Yeah.
Dang. While he's in her, like, dresser area, he finds the shirt that she bought him. And he is looking at it and he's like, why does she have a man's shirt? And he realizes, like, oh, she got it for me. Because I think he sees a calendar, too.
Yeah.
It says, like, first paycheck, a gift for Yoonho.
And her daughter.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, she must have bought this for me. And she just hasn't given it to me for some reason.
Presumptuous.
I know, right? But who else would it be for?
Sojun.
That's true.
Because as far as he knows, she went out on a date with him last night.
That's true. And is on a date with him right now.
Yeah.
Not the dog. So he also sees that painting that Sojun made for her that's hanging on the wall now, which is an okay painting. It's a little bit weird. It's not great. It looks like a painting from, like, Hobby Lobby. Yeah. But just with her.
Or, like, a paint by numbers situation.
Yeah.
Like an adult paint by numbers.
Yeah. And then he also sees the green onion doll, which is super cute. But Sojun, like, picks it up and holds it against the wall. And he's, like, talking shit to this toy. And then he, like, kind of, like, throws it off to the side or something. Typical Yoonho here. Very jealous. Hae-rin then texts Yoonho and says she's meeting with Sojun to finalize the book design, which makes Yoonho curious because he's like, I guess he's not on a date with Donnie? He doesn't say anything, but he's kind of like, huh, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, he's, like, pretty pleased. He's like,
Yeah, I see what she's doing. Yeah. Sojun arrives to the cafe where Hae-rin is at, and they tease each other about her being a workaholic. And then Yoonho keeps texting Donnie about eating dinner with him. And she's ignoring him. And then he calls her out and is like, Sojun met Hae-rin at a cafe for work. ...
Yeah. And she's like, fuck.
She's like, God damn it. Why? We cut back to Hae-rin and Sojun, and he's so fucking tired, he starts to fall asleep on her. And she leaves a little post-it on the computer for him when he wakes up for some reason, instead of waking him up, telling him to go home.
Also, isn't that her computer?
It is her computer. It's like, is she going to leave and leave her computer there for him to wake up to? I don't know.
Yeah.
But she leaves the post-it there, and then she ends up falling asleep on his shoulder. So they're kind of like head-to-head touching.
It's cute.
It is very cute.
They look so good together.
They do. Yeah. We'll see what happens there.
So we're back with Donnie. And she comes home because she realizes she forgot her wallet. And Yoonho teases her for lying about her date with Sojun and asks if she even likes him and why she won't date him. So Donnie points out all of Yoonho's annoying habits as, like, the first reason. The second reason is that they've known each other for too long. And the third is that she's afraid of what will happen if they break up. Also,
legitimate.
He made tteokbokki, which looked real good. So they're talking about this while eating that.
Andrew and I made that yesterday. It was very good. We had it today, too. Still very good.
Nice. So Donnie raises some pretty good points, and she also adds that she has no one else to lean on. Which is kind of true and kind of sad. But I also think, well, maybe she develops her relationship with Miss So a little more.
It's true. And Miss Go, if she can crack Miss Go.
Crack that icy exterior. So, he tells her it sounds like she likes him. Which, again, also fair point. And that he's her number one, and she should focus on being together instead of breaking up. Again.
I think they both have very fair points.
Yeah.
And their concerns are legitimate and make sense.
Yeah, because it is true, like, if you only focus on the bad things in a situation, like, you wouldn't be able to do anything. There are a ton of what-ifs for everything, but the stakes are really high for Donnie. Like, she's divorced. She barely has a job. She has a kid, like...
that we never see.
Yeah, it kind of... If I were her, I'd be like, no, I kind of just need to focus on myself for a bit and, you know, get some more, like, stable footing. Because you don't want to be dependent. Or for me, personally, like, I hate feeling dependent on other people.
Yeah, agreed.
So, Anyway, Yoonho leaves, and he's like, hey, enjoy the dinner. And he leaves to go meet Haiti and Sojun, and he brings Goombi with him. So he gets
Goombi's so cute.
I know.
God.
Goombi is a freaking perfect, like, model dog.
He's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And I love how Sojun's like, yeah, I adopted him. Like, you just found that perfect dog at a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Edie's a perfect dog.
She is.
But...
Perfectly goofy.
Yes. So he gets to the cafe, and he sees Hating and Sojun asleep together on the couch in the cafe. And it's really cute, and he looks really happy for them. Like,
he's got a nice smile. Like, good for her.
I feel like he's kind of thinking, like, okay, win-win, because he's happy for Hating, who will get off his back, and then happy because Sojun might be, you know, going towards that direction instead of Donnie.
Exactly.
So, Hating then wakes up, and she sees a note that Yoonho left about the design, and next to her post-it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the note, it says that he left Goombi. And she's like, who's Goombi? And Sojun is kind of half asleep, half awake at this point. Like, he's kind of coming to. And he's like, oh, that's Goombi. And he lets it slip that Donnie had Goombi. He's like, oh, yeah, I guess he got him from Donnie. And so Hating was like, what? Why did Donnie have Goombi? And so she's, like, trying to piece this all together. And basically, Sojun is like, yeah, they live together. Like, that's why it makes sense. And then he's like, no, I mean, they live in the same neighborhood. And she's like, okay. And she's like, but even if they live in the same neighborhood, why would she ask Yoonho to take the dog from him? Like, they're not even close. And yeah, it's just like a whole mindfuck for her, basically.
When he decides to take Goombi, I didn't even think, like, Donnie had Goombi, and isn't that going to be weird when you drop off this dog? That didn't even come to my mind, and I don't know if either of them thought of that either when he said that he would take the dog.
Well, also, I think, right, because Haiti knows that Sojun and Donnie are close, and she kind of knows that Sojun and Yoonho know each other, at least, and that they live in the same neighborhood. But she doesn't know the whole triangle part of it. And so I didn't think about that either. That if Hating would, even if Yoonho didn't have Goombi from Donnie, like even if Yoonho just had Goombi because they were close. It would still be weird. It's still weird, exactly. These people need to get...
Sojun didn't even have to say they live together. Because it was already weird.
Yeah.
She was already questioning it.
Yeah.
So. But this is where... fucking shit's starting to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
Yes. God. It's like that one, like, whatever, straw that broke the camel's back, and, like, everything is tumbling down at this point.
Hating is, like, at her office with photos of everyone and the string. It's basically Sojun's office.
Yeah.
But with all of their pictures instead.
She needs to have her own little conspiracy theory bulletin.
Yes.
So, Hating is still puzzled at work on Monday, I guess. And so she's still thinking about it. And then, to make matters worse, she sees Yoonho wearing the shirt that Donnie had at work. And she's like...
the one that the camera panned on at one point.
And she's like, that shirt. And he's like, oh, you like it? It was a gift. Which I... can't
like getting
it.
chills thinking about it. How fucking intense this is.
Yeah, because why did Yoonho have to say it was a gift? Because now that kind of, again, solidifies... I mean, again, it could all be coincidence, but it's not.
And also, he didn't know that shirt was on her desk at any point.
Right.
To where anyone at work would have seen her with that shirt.
Right.
But just, oh, gosh.
It's
so much happening now.
Yeah, it's a lot. Jill and I can't stand to even talk about it.
Like, I want everything to be out in the open, but also as it's happening, I'm just squealing, like, no! Don't do that!
I'm like, we need to have a little Jillian letter situation.
Yes.
Like, everyone needs to get a letter that Donnie and Yoonho pass out.
Yes. They can have Jillian write it. At work, Donnie and Miss Go talk about gifts and work stuff. She always has to buy gifts. It's so funny. It's her job. And then Donnie compliments Miss Go and tells her that if she ever needs a friend or someone to lean on, she can rely on her.
I thought that was a nice moment.
Yeah, very sweet. Miss Go doesn't really say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just her usual, like,
stone ice
cold face, which is fine. I got it too. I get you.
Mm-hmm.
The book that everyone has been working on gets printed, and Donnie runs into Sojun at the bookstore. It's the book that he's been designing with an older woman. And they decide to have dinner together, and she tells him that she thinks they should just stay friends, since it seems like they didn't really miss each other the past couple of weeks. So it's been weeks since she saw him and picked up Goombie. Felt like just a day.
Well, I think he's been working for weeks. So I think it has only been a few days since he picked, or I interpreted as like it had been weeks until before she had even how do I phrase
before
this?
she got Goombie.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And I'm like, okay, so if y'all hadn't talked in fucking weeks, and the first thing she says is, "Hey, can I hang out with your dog?"
That should be a red flag.
And not you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's saying, like, we haven't really seemed to have missed each other in these couple of weeks. And they're both really busy working on the book. And he seems really disappointed, but he also agrees. Maybe we should take a break and we'll put the relationship on hold, but remain open to the idea of maybe actually going somewhere in the future. Mm-hmm. Which I think is good. They're not making anything official.
Yeah, and I mean, she kind of brings up, like, we were keeping it casual, just kind of seeing where things go, and it kind of seems like
they're not
this
going
is where
anywhere.
They went. Like, they kind of plateaued at getting dinner together every once in a while.
Hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
No kissing.
Yeah.
No butterflies. Just a whole lot of food and Goombie.
Which
I'm
sounds
happy
fun.
with.
Yeah. Sounds like a good friend.
Food and dog. Okay. The day of the book concert finally comes, and Donnie gets put in charge because Miss So's son is sick with meningitis. She tells everyone, though, that she was in an accident. And she calls Donnie first, and she tells her, like, I'll tell you the truth, but don't tell anybody else, because I don't want this getting out. And it's a sad moment, because she's basically saying, like, I always end up having to miss important things for work because of my kid. Mm-hmm. And they always call the mom. They never call the dad. And I'm always the one that's here. Mm-hmm. And she's just sitting on the edge of her son's hospital bed in tears, just frustrated.
Yeah, because she's obviously, like, super scared for her son. But also, it fucking sucks because I get that, like, she has to lie. Because Alex was like, why doesn't she just tell everyone her son is sick? And I'm like, because as a woman, it gets pretty fucking old, I think, to, like, male colleagues being like, oh, you're a fucking woman, you have to take care of your kids.
Your
like,
kid's sick again?
Yeah, like, why don't you just stay home? Because, and I was listening to this thing on NPR, and I hate the fucking call-in shows, but it was, like, this dude who called in and was basically saying, like, you know, men get paid more, and men are better suited for the workplace because women have to take care of the family. And, like, that's just how it is. And, like, men are willing to sacrifice not being there for their kids and missing the recitals and stuff. Like, that's a man's sacrifice. And I'm like, okay, I get that, but also, fuck you, dude. Like, you think a woman like, I'm sure as a mom you probably want to go to your kids, like, fucking piano recital. Like, that's cute. But I'm sure she feels like she has to go because that's her kid. Yeah. I'm sure she'd like to be at work. Like, Miss So would obviously love to host this book event
that she's been planning for weeks.
Yeah, but, like, shit happens and her son is fucking sick and, like, someone needs to be there for him.
Because nobody called dad.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like...
Who maybe would have been there.
Exactly.
Had he known, but nobody called him.
And I'm sure, like, Miss So probably would have been, like, you know, heartbroken, maybe even would have not gone to the book concert anyway because she's so concerned. But it really sucks that it's her by herself.
Yeah.
But I love that the show brings up stuff like this. Because I'm like, this is why it's hard. Deep. It's hard to be a woman in the workplace. And you have to fucking lie and say you got into an accident yourself.
When an accident is better than saying your kid is sick.
So fucking sad. So Donnie basically... So Miss So is like, Donnie, you handle the book event. You got this. Like, you help me plan it. You know what to do. So she handles it pretty well. Like, at first she's kind of flustered and Yoonho has to calm her down. But she gets shit done and it goes really well. And the rest of the staff kind of helps out by getting people, like, to come to the book event because a group canceled, and everyone is just kind of like coming together as a team and getting
all hands
it done.
on deck.
Yeah, it's a nice moment. So as the event is going on, Yoonho is really proud of Donnie.
Oh God.
And Haydeen is in the audience, and she's like kind of laser focused on Yoonho and Donnie because she already is super suspicious of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps noticing that Haydeen keeps noticing that Yoonho can't take his eyes off of Donnie.
Mm-hmm. And smiling.
Yeah.
And his eyes, like, have a little twinkle in them.
Mm-hmm.
And Donnie's, like, sitting down next to the author and is just, like, in love with her reading and what she's saying. So she's not even looking at him, but he's looking at her. It's, oh my God.
It's perfect. It's so stressful, but it's so perfect. And then Sojin is just kind of, like, looking around. Like, he's kind of looking at Donnie. I don't know if he looks at Haydeen yet or not, but he's kind of, like...
He notices her parents, who he doesn't know are her parents.
Yeah, her parents are so fucking extra.
And they're staring, like, death stares at Yoonho.
Yeah.
And he's like, the fuck? What's wrong with these people?
Yeah. So, while the author... So, basically, Donnie's like, blah, 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 you're great, read the book. Mm-hmm. And then she goes and stands off to the side, like, in the wings, if this were theater, with Yoonho. And... So they're standing next to each other, and they hold hands behind their backs. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And you're like, not in front of everyone.
Yeah, I was like, this is not the time.
No. And I know they're not actually facing anyone, and their hands are hidden, but they're so close to each other.
It's such a small venue also.
And I know, it's so intimate, and they keep looking at each other and smiling.
Yeah.
And they're so close.
Yes. Okay, there are maybe like 50 people in the audience.
Oh God, I think it's less than that, honestly. I think it's like 30.
So fucking small. It would be one thing, again, if they were like in the wings of a stage and this was a
and
fucking
the majority of them are people they work with.
Are coworkers, yes. And fucking, they are supposed to not know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would...
They don't even talk to each other at work.
No, they should have, like, at least, like, a shoulder's width of distance between each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also so beautiful, because I'm like, yes!
And she seems happy.
Yes, and they do the thing where they're kind of, like, rubbing thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sweet. And I do love that tension of, like, we're not supposed to be doing this, but this is
It's
fun.
really exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And
it's like secret love that nobody knows about. We're doing it right in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It's like playing footsie under the table.
Exactly. But also, and it's kind of like, okay, we've been building up to this. This is what I wanted from Yoonho's kiss, but I like
it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
But this is very good.
Yes. But fuck. So much tension. So, then Miss Go. So, all the while, Miss Go is there in the audience with a friend, because again, they had to get the numbers up. And the friend recognizes Donnie as someone who interviewed at her company, and she tells Miss Go that Donnie is actually a pretty accomplished advertising copywriter. And Miss Go is like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, she went to a prestigious university and, like, won awards while she was still in university for copywriting, like, this girl's legit. And so, basically, the episode ends with everyone looking at Donnie and Yoonho. Like, you see Sojin looking at them, you see Miss Go looking at them, and you see
Haydeen's parents.
Yeah. Everyone in the audience is looking at freaking Yoonho and Donnie instead of the author. And then bam, end of episode.
And the two of them don't even realize it.
Yeah, they're just so, like...
focused on each other.
Obliviously in love.
God.
So good.
Such
so
a great
stressful.
ending. Such a great last 5 minutes of an ep.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
If y'all hear croaking again, that is Egon. He likes to join in on the conversation.
He had a wild ride with the episode, too. He's a big Yoonho fan. Parkoon. So, yeah. Episode 12 is a good episode for Parkoon.
Yes.
Egon's favorite character.
Agreed. Episode 12 synopsis. Donnie revels in her latest feat at work and celebrates with Yoonho, but he's given a tough order to execute after questions about her resume emerge. Thank you to that bitch who knows Miss Go. Didn't have to say anything.
I know.
You didn't want to hire her. Come on.
I know. Or she could have just been like, I think I recognized her from somewhere. And then she could have just said, like, oh, yeah, I think she interviewed at our company.
Mm-hmm. Didn't have to go into detail.
Didn't have to be like, she's actually a really good copywriter, but we didn't hire her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bitch. Okay, anyway. Continue.
So episode 12 starts with Mr. Kim and Mr. Bong finishing up dinner with journalists. So that's why they're not at the event.
Mm-hmm.
And they're complaining about how the journalists basically want a bunch of free merchandise and, like, all the books and stuff. And they don't even bother to actually write the articles themselves. They're asking for, like, what info do you want us to include? And titles, and I think a synopsis also, or something similar.
Yeah.
And send us a bunch of books. And they're kind of just like, do they not realize how much it costs to make books? The fuck? They don't even do the work. And then Mr. Kim tells Mr. Bong that Miss So seems to have gotten in an accident. And he immediately starts freaking out, and he's calling her phone. Her phone is forwarded to Donnie's phone, and she tells him what actually happened and where to go and stuff. The book concert ends, and everyone is super excited, except for Haerin, Sojun, and Misko. Mm-hmm. So the three of them are kind of like, things are weird.
Sojun is, like, not excited, but he's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, he kind of, like, looks at them.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them holding hands and stuff secretly.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's really putting things together.
Yeah.
But I think he's also not super excited because
Donnie just dumped her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still likes her. And obviously saying what an amazing job she's doing with this event.
Mm-hmm.
She's really accomplished and she's very smart and put together.
Yeah.
So obviously he would want to date her.
Yeah.
And continue to buy her food.
Noodles.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Haerin introduces her parents to Sojun after they bump into each other. And then they decide to go harass Yoonho. But when he meets them, he's kind of like, oh.
Those are your parents.
Those are them. Because the dad was at one point, like, falling asleep on top of Sojun, basically.
Uh-huh.
They're a very unusual couple.
Yeah.
They tell him hi, tell Yoonho hi. And Yoonho, being the super nice guy that he is, tells him, like, oh, I'll walk you guys out and I'll hail a cab for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Haerin's mom, as he's, like, trying to get a cab, they don't know what to do, and they're kind of, like, looking at each other, like, how do we get back at him? And she fucking hits him with her purse, and then the dad trips him.
So fucking dumb.
It's so stupid and so weird, and at one point I was like, are they gonna fucking kill him? Are they gonna throw him in front of a car, and he's gonna actually get hit like he should have when he was younger? Like, what the fuck? These people are weird.
Yeah, they're really funny, though.
They're very funny. They're just so strange.
I kind of feel like they are a more over-the-top version of me and Alex, where we're just kind of, like, goofy, and we'd be like, I don't know, how do we get back at him? I guess I'll hit him. Like,
okay. And then pretend like this is a weird purse. This is a very strange purse.
I could totally see Alex tripping someone.
Oh my god.
I mean, you've heard, like, Alex used to trip people in high school a lot that was his choice.
That was his thing.
Getting back at people.
Oh my god, of course.
But yeah, this couple they're weird.
Yeah, they're very unusual.
Fun.
But then they're kind of just like, are you sure you don't like our Haerin at all?
Mm-hmm. You
don't like her? Really?
After we almost killed you.
And then they get into their cab, and they're basically telling him, what a wonderful guy he is. And, like, you can come and get kimchi whenever you want. Mm-hmm. And then they're just so disappointed that he's not going to be their future son-in-law. Because they really do like him. And of course they do.
He's perfect.
He's perfect. He's great. He's accomplished. He's a writer. He has a way with words. He's handsome. Like, blah, blah, blah. We can go on and on and on. But, also, your daughter needs to find someone else.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, going crazy and, like, plotting revenge against him or crying over your dumplings about him.
Yeah.
Help her get over him and find somebody better.
Sojun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, Donnie is having a nice moment with the author while everyone is cleaning up. They're kind of, like, in a green room area. Mm-hmm. They're going through her gifts and all this stuff. So Yoonho comes in, and he offers to give the author a ride home so Donnie can finish up at the venue, and they'll meet up later. So, all the while, Park Hoon and Ji-Yul are also cleaning up, and they run into her mom and the blind date she brought for Ji-Yul. Because in episode 11, you see Ji-Yul calling her mom and being like, please come, you can even bring a blind date if you want for me. So she did.
Of course.
Yeah. And he is a plastic surgeon. He's not terrible looking.
Mm-mm.
Again, I feel like he's kind of like Park Hoon-ish. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's a little taller, but, you know, not uggo,
He's
not super handsome.
Yeah.
He's no Yoonho, but
No.
anyway. So, Park Hoon immediately takes over the situation and introduces himself, and he's like, Dr. Kim. Like, I don't know if they say doctor. Did they say doctor in English in Descendants of the Sun? Or is he saying doctor in English?
I don't know.
I feel like they didn't, but Park Hoon definitely says Dr. Kim
Mm-hmm.
in English in this scene. And he's like, Dr. Kim. And he, like, introduces himself as Park Hoon, and, then Ji-Yool's mom says he's crazy, and he's like, yeah, I'm crazy about Ji-Yool. And then Ji-Yool's mom, like, is freaking out and, like, tells her, like, basically almost hits Park Hoon, and then
Mm-hmm.
Ji-Yool's like, stop, you need to be nicer to my Hoon. I love that she just calls him Hoon. And Ji-Yool's, like, screaming, like, you need to stop bringing blind dates around. If you don't stop, I'm gonna move out, and I'm gonna move in with Park Hoon. And then he's like, yeah, I only have a $500 a month apartment, but I'll make her happy. And, like, they are insane. But so perfect together.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while, the poor, like, blind date guy is like,
What did I get myself
fuck?
into?
Yeah. So, yeah, Ji-Yool's mom freaks out, tries to hit Park Hoon, but she ends up hitting the doctor. And then Ji-Yool freaks out and says, my God, in English.
That's so funny.
I said I need a gif of that. Just her going, my God. Like,
She's so funny. I really like that actress.
I do too.
She's great.
She is.
Donnie, Yoonho, and Hae-rin leave the event together, and Sojun offers to take the girls out for drinks. But Hae-rin asks if it can just be the two of them, since she has some questions for him. Donnie doesn't really seem to mind. She runs off. I don't think she's really interested in getting drinks with Sojun.
No, but that was kind of an awkward moment for me.
Yeah,
I would
agree.
never be like, actually, let's uninvite this person.
Yeah.
The person that, as far as we all know, you still have a crush on.
Yeah. Because I don't know that she dumped you.
Yeah.
And also, who helped put on this entire event and did such a good job. And it should be like a congratulatory thing for everybody.
Yeah.
And instead just being like, no, just us two.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it worked out fine.
Yeah, she didn't seem to care, so everything's fine.
Yeah.
Ji-Yool then runs back to tell Hae-rin that she wants to be a great editor like her and make wonderful books and spread positive energy. And that she wants Hae-rin to teach her, and she promises to work hard. And Sojun is standing beside Hae-rin just trying not to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And Hae-rin is like, okay. And she looks like she's happy about it and a little bit touched that she's coming up to her, but she's also kind of just like, okay. Plays it
The
cool.
fuck?
Yeah. And Ji-Yool, like, does the little heart head
Yeah.
thingy. And she's being super cute and silly. And then she kind of just runs off. And she does, like, the little anime run. And she's running away. Their arms back behind her.
Uh-huh.
Super funny.
Like Tina Belcher run?
Yes, absolutely. On the bus ride back, Donnie gets a bunch of texts congratulating her on the success of her event. And of course, she's very, very happy and proud.
Mm-hmm.
As she should be. She
I'm
did a
proud
great
of
job.
Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Go goes out to dinner with her friend that recognized Donnie, and they talk about Donnie's past a little bit more. And Miss Go asks if she can see her resume and what she thinks her friend, or like what her friend thinks she should do.
Mm-hmm.
And her friend is basically like, well, I'll try to get you the resume, but it's kind of sensitive. But I just fire her because, and upon rewatch, I noticed she doesn't even say because she lied to you. She says because she's overqualified.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you feel uncomfortable giving her all these menial tasks? If I were to fire Donnie, it would be because she lied.
Mm-hmm.
Not because she's overqualified.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
And even at that, like, this woman has not worked with Donnie.
Right.
She spoke to her for, 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And was a bitch to her?
Yeah.
Miss Go has worked with her and has seen that Donnie's willing to do all of these stupid fucking menial tasks,
Mm-hmm.
buy all these fucking gifts, no question about it, never feels like it's demeaning. She does the job, she's happy to do it, she helps everyone she can,
Yeah.
but she also does more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really great quality to have
Yeah.
in an employee. And you're not paying her. You're paying someone that should be paid for her extra shit that she's doing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, honestly, you're getting great bang for your buck with Donnie. But, yeah. I mean, again, I can see why Miska would be upset because,
absolutely,
you know, Donnie did lie. But, yeah, that fucking tight-ass lady who was like, oh, we're not going to hire you because you've been gone too long. And you think you can just take a break being a mom? She
did. She's back and she's doing a fucking hell of a job. Maybe you should have hired her.
Yeah, seriously. So, Yoonho calls Donnie as she's walking home, and they talk about how well Donnie did and how happy she feels with her life right now, and how happy that... and that she's happy that he's by her side, and that he held her hand, and she feels safe with him, and she thanks him. It's, you know, a very lovey-dovey phone call. So, while she's, you know, ranting about how happy she is, which is so heartbreaking because of the prior scene where you're like, fuck, she's gonna get fired. So, Yoonho's, like, running towards her, and they're doing the thing where they're on the phone, but Yoonho can see her because she's just, like, you know, like, some yards away. And then Yoonho's like, Johnny! And then he runs to her, and then he does the beautiful spinning hug thing, and so cute. And so they have a little moment, like, yelling out into the universe, like, Donnie's awesome! Yoonho's awesome! Like,
and
Donnie's
she also
beautiful.
says Yoonho's so handsome.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay. Get it.
Handsome like a little brother? Or more? We cut to Haerin and Sojin drinking. Mostly Haerin drinking, and she's drinking a lot. Like, chugging. Downing. She runs through a hypothetical situation with Sojun using fried fish that looks kind of gross. And she's basically going through the situations of this girl bought a shirt, and suddenly that shirt was on this boy. What does that mean? And Sojun's like, she bought that shirt for that boy. And he obviously doesn't know who she's talking about or what the situation is about. But she's kind of going through everything, and I think trying to talk it out loud so it makes sense to her. Because she's been questioning and she's been in denial. So talking it out to somebody who is, as far as she knows, still dating Donnie or talking to Donnie or interested in her. She wants to kind of get his point of view, I guess.
Yeah. I like seeing them together, though. Because he kind of, like, what's the word? Entertains her crazy notions. Yeah. Where I think a lot of people will be like, you need to stop. Like, you're acting crazy.
Yeah.
So.
She ends up downing his drink also. And she looks a little rough. You're kind of like, damn, girl, you gotta get it together. Yeah. You are a professional.
And she's, like, so gorgeous. Not that, like, beautiful people can't, like, fucking chug drinks and take rowdy bites out of dried fish, but it's not the cutest look on her.
No, especially, again, she can definitely find someone else.
Yes.
Someone else is probably right in front of her.
Yes.
She just needs to get over him, which I know can be difficult. Yeah. Especially if you've been into someone for so long.
And she has to see him every fucking day. And talk to him, like, every fucking day. But
yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
She basically, though, asks him how she can kill them. He, again, doesn't know who she's talking to. He seems to think she's pretty funny. But I'd be like, the fuck, girl? Get some help. Go tell your parents. Yoonho and Donnie buy street food while holding hands. And they're looking like a real couple. And anytime they're out like this, I'm like, oh, God, I'm real nervous.
Like, who's going to see them?
Who's going to see them at this point? Everything kind of scares me when they're out in public like that.
Yeah. I like how the street food lady's like, I'll give you an extra one because you're so beautiful. I noticed that one. That's funny.
That's great.
So, Mr. Bong gets to the hospital and finds his son and Miss So sleeping. He talks to his son about how he feels, about the tests that he's had done on him and being in the hospital. And he apologizes to his son and says that he should have been there for him. And I'm like, And again,
yes, Dad.
Not to be, like, on a fucking soapbox or whatever, but I honestly think more men would participate in shit like this for their families if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
But like Miss So said, like, people always reach out to the moms. Like, the mom is always expected to fucking do this stuff. And I think sometimes men don't even realize, like, all the stuff that women do. And if someone just asked them to do it, they'd be like, okay. Like, yeah. So,
sure, I'll go.
Yeah, so freaking upsetting. Anyway. So, he's looking pretty down, and he's out in a waiting room area, and Miss So finds him. And he, as soon as she sits down next to him, he tells her, we should get back together. And he seems really desperate at this point. Like, his heart seems pretty broken, seeing his son sick like that, and seeing his ex-wife, you know, tortured. But she's really strong, and she asks him, like, do you still love me? And he says that it doesn't matter, which, not a great answer.
Not at all.
No, so he says it doesn't matter, they have a kid together, and she reminds him why they got a divorce in the first place. And I like the line, like, you know, you didn't sign the divorce papers because we fought in a mall. Like, you have to know that there was other stuff. And she says that they slowly fell apart over a long period of time. And he asks for a second chance and promises to be a better husband. And after that, she's like, no, I've already found someone else. And I'm like, fuck, has she?
I don't know.
I kind of feel like she's lying.
I think so, too.
But, I mean, it's not like we know every facet of Miss So's life, but I'm like, you were pretty jealous, like, that Donnie kissed someone, because Miss So says, I found someone who treats me like a woman. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think she's bluffing.
I do, too.
Sojun calls Yoonho in the middle of the night and begs him to help with Hae-rin. Yoonho comes, but Hae-rin is passed out at that restaurant. Sojun tells Yoonho that Hae-rin has been acting pretty crazy and demanded to go to the place where the four of them had dinner. And she made her own cucumber soju and passed out. And Yoonho reveals that Hae-rin is allergic to cucumbers. Sojun then freaks out, but Yoonho says she won't die, but they need to figure out what to do with her. And she's, like, knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
again,
like,
not cute.
I would have taken her to the hospital if she was, like, literally passed out.
Yeah. Like, no way she's waking up anytime soon. It's bad.
And I think it's funny how Sojun's like, is she gonna die? When Yoonho says she's allergic to cucumbers.
Yeah. The boys fight over who's gonna carry her. Neither of them want to. Yoonho ends up having to carry her on his back. He's so small.
I know.
Gosh. They go to Sojun's apartment, which is upstairs, like 2 or 3 flights. And he plops her down on Sojun's bed and makes a little bed nest thing for the two of them. And Sojun's like, oh, what? And Yoonho tells him, I'm not letting you stay here alone with her. Again, good caring guy. He's great, looking out for his coworker and his friend. So Sojun only has 1 extra blanket, and he looks shocked, but Yoonho teases him, asking if he trusts him. And then, as he walks away, calls him a pervert. So it's a really funny scene between the two of them. And I kind of wish they would just get along and be friends, because I think they could be good friends. They just have a lot of baggage between them that needs to kind of be resolved. Donnie wakes up the next day and sees that Yoonho isn't in bed. She kind of questions that. Where is he? Then we cut to the boys, who are spooning like crazy with each other. You have Sojun's arm underneath Yoonho, and Yoonho is holding his hand and kind of caressing his hand too,
like living as the little spoon.
And he's dreaming about Donnie, and he even says her name. And they're holding hands. Yoonho slowly wakes up and realizes, like, these are man hands. And then he starts to realize that, no, this is definitely not Donnie. This is fucking Sojun. And he freaks out, and then Sojun wakes up, and then he freaks out, and they're, like, screaming and calling each other out and blaming each other.
Like, you were holding me.
Your arm was around me. Your leg was on me. It's so intense and ridiculous.
And then you see, like, they tied a string to each other's arms, so I guess they would each know if one of them got up to go be with Hae-rin, I guess. Yeah.
A little bit weird.
So funny.
Gosh.
So, all, like, during this commotion, Haydeen comes stumbling out of Sojun's room covered in hives.
She looks bad.
Yeah. Sojun is horrified. And she's like, oh, like, she can barely talk. And she kind of, like, crawls over to where the guys are. And then she starts, like, gagging and, like, dry heaving. And Sojun's like, go over there! Like, the bathroom's over there. And she's, like, crawling. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah,
but
she done fucked up.
Yeah, she did that to herself.
Mm-hmm.
As we will see shortly. She purposely ate the cucumbers.
Yeah. Jesus. That makes me feel like she's totally not stable.
Yeah.
She's got some issues.
Especially because she had all that soju in her desk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got a problem.
I'm worrying about her more and more.
Yeah.
At work, a poster for a company idea contest is posted, and Donnie's looking super interested.
Mm-hmm.
Also because the contest is anonymous. So basically everyone in the company has an opportunity. I forget what the prize is, but to enter this contest, win some money, win some recognition, blah, blah, blah.
And as we know, she's won things in the past.
Yes.
With her university.
That's
very
true.
well.
And I love how Jill's like, ooh, you're gonna do it, Donnie? She's like, I'll do it too. And they're like cheering each other on. It's really cute. But then Haydeen comes to work, still covered in hives.
Should have taken the day off.
Yeah, honey, take a sick day.
I'm sure she's got them.
Yeah. She still looks cute. She's just covered in hives.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, her face doesn't look cute, but, like, her hair's done.
Yeah, everyone's just like, ooh,
yeah.
girl.
Donnie is really concerned, like, oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay? But everyone tells her that Haydeen will be fine, and she's just a little allergic to cucumbers. And Haydeen tells Mr. Bong, like, I ate them on purpose since she was so hurt she wanted to die. And Mr. Bong calls her out and says that she knows she won't die since she always gets better pretty quickly.
Funny of Mr. Bong to say that. Super fucking dramatic of Haydeen to say that.
But also because Mr. Bong dealt with the guy who committed suicide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, she's just gonna be like, I tried to commit suicide. Like, she didn't say that flat out, but
she did say she wanted to die.
Yeah.
I think that would be, like, major cause for concern for everyone in the company. Because they dealt with the writer.
Yeah. But I will say that in a lot of, like, South Korean culture,
Mm-hmm.
being like, do you want to die? Or, oh my god, I want to die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna kill myself. Those words are tossed around very lightly.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not good. And, like, I think they have a pretty high rate of suicide, which is not good.
Not good.
But I have seen, and I think it's kind of like a societal movement, and, like, I think the government has even tried to be like, don't kill yourself. Like,
mental health, y'all.
Yes.
Mental health.
And I think, like, the mental health thing, like, people have just recently started going to therapy and talking about stuff, so her kind of casually saying, like, I'm gonna kill myself isn't that big of a deal, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, just so you know.
Jeez. I thought it was very unprofessional.
Yeah.
to say at work.
It probably is. It's not
with
a
your
good
colleagues. Look. Especially, again, because she's super accomplished.
Yeah. Like, she's not kind of like a Jewel being like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, Haydeen, in the past, has handled herself pretty well at work. That we know of.
Other than when she pulled out the
soju.
Oh, girl.
Uh-huh.
The executives then have a meeting, and Mr. Bong tries to convince them to publish poetry again. It seems a little bit more successful. He calls Donnie in with a lockbox that looks like a book, and they explain that they used to use an anonymous voting system back in the day to decide whether or not they should publish something. So they're all kind of placing a vote, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide to use it again for the poetry, whatever. And then after the meeting, Miss Go calls Yoonho into her office and tells him about Donnie's past. She basically makes him read the other resume that her friend gave her.
Mm-hmm. And he has, like, articles printed out.
Yeah, about her wins and accomplishments and stuff. She did some fucking thorough research. And first of all, I don't know if there's a reason why she calls him specifically in.
I was thinking that.
Because she could have called the president in.
Maybe she feels like... So it kind of seems like totem pole-wise, it is Mr. Kim, and then Miss Go, and then Yoonho. Mm-hmm. Or maybe Miss Go and Yoonho are, like, almost on the same level, because Yoonho was, like, Mr. Kim's first employee, basically. Yeah. So maybe she thinks, like, she wants to give the task to Yoonho because...
Instead of bringing it to an upper level.
Yeah, because it would be weird for Mr. Kim to, like, be concerned about a contract employee, maybe.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
So she tells him what's going on, and he tries to stick up for her, and she tells him that he should fire her. And he says she can stay on as a regular employee, but she points out that it's not fair to other employees, and that if she wants a regular position, she needs to apply for one like everyone else. Which, okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm. But also, again, I think everybody has seen how accomplished she is and, like, how hard she's willing to work.
Yeah.
And, like, the sucker in me is, like, give her a fucking chance because she's done so well. Like, where are you going to find another employee like her?
Yeah. I mean... So I kind of had a similar situation. Not really, because I didn't lie about my resume. But I was slightly overqualified for a position that I took out of college. Mm-hmm. I basically got hired as an assistant. Like, I didn't need a college degree for that position or anything. And they were like, when a new job comes available, you should apply. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what they should have done with Donnie. Sat her down and be like, hey, we know you lied. That was kind of fucked up. We're aware of it now. If you want to apply with another position, like, do it in the next, like, wave of hires. But you are going to be doing the work that you're doing now. Like,
yeah, and maybe put her on, like, a probation of some sort or something, you know?
Yeah, like,
or, like, unpaid leave or something for a week or two or something. Just something. Yeah. But I think straight up firing her is kind of crazy. Yeah. Considering, again, how fucking hard she's worked. And if you ask any employee there, what do you think about Donnie? Everyone's going to say she's amazing. Mm-hmm. She's done so much.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, I feel like, to fire her. Again, totally fucked up that she lied. Not cool to do on a resume. Mm-hmm. But I think she's more than proven herself and her qualifications and how hard she's willing to work. So, obviously, Yoonho is upset by this. He is in love with Donnie, doesn't want to give her this news. Mm-hmm. So he gets out of his meeting with Miss Go, and he sees a bunch of people asking Donnie to do things for him. Like, the printer's out of ink or whatever. Can you do this, that, and the other thing? And she is important to the office. She does her work. She's helpful to everyone. She's friendly. So he decides to help her with the tasks, which is very sweet. So he's there, like, moving the books or filling up the fridge with drinks or whatever.
Fixing the chairs.
Yeah, and then she tells him, like, stop, because we're at work, and we don't want anyone to notice. Like, they noticed us fucking so close together. Obviously wasn't an issue then, but now it is. Okay. Yoonho then goes to lunch with Mr. Kim, and Mr. Kim invites Miss Go. But she declines.
Why?
Yeah, I know. Stone cold again. Mm-hmm. But he gives her the button she dropped in his office. And who knows what the fuck is happening there. I'm very intrigued.
I know. I'm like, why introduce this button thing? What is going on with that?
And again, his face when it was just, like, dangling as she was talking was so strange.
I know.
I want to know more.
I do too.
Maybe the next ep it'll come up.
Maybe.
At lunch with Yoonho, he brings up the idea of a contract employee transferring to a regular position. And Mr. Kim basically tells him the same thing Miss Go did. That there are rules that need to be followed, and sometimes people take time off and get the training that they need to be qualified to transfer to another job within the company. But again, she's already qualified. She doesn't need to leave to get qualified. She already is. Yoonho, of course, is really bummed by this idea. Sad news.
Yeah. Again, like, from an organizational standpoint, I get where they're coming from because, you know, people are, like, petty and competitive and will be like, well, you fucking did that for Donnie, but you're not going to do that for me. Like, I'm actually better at this, this, and this than Donnie.
And as you said at the beginning of this series, that it's very hard to get a job and super competitive. So obviously it's a big deal to just move somebody from a position or give them quote unquote special treatment.
Yeah. That would not be taken well, I think. And I think everyone loves Donnie, but I think that would also be like, okay, well, fuck her kind of thing. So Donnie's walking home reading the book of poetry that Mr. Bong is trying to get everyone to publish. And Yoonho picks her up, and they go home and realize there's nothing to eat. So Yoonho semi-casually suggests that they go to a pretty nice restaurant. And they both kind of realize it's a date. And we get a really classic trying to figure out what to wear montage, and people are throwing clothes on their bed. I love those types of scenes.
It's great.
Uh-huh.
I love seeing the guy do that too.
Yes.
Not just Donnie struggling on how to look cute, but Yoonho struggling on how to look handsome
and like normal.
Yeah. not too put together. Casual. He's trying to think of like, how do I want to present myself?
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
Self-care, dudes. Come on. Put some effort into your look. Think about it.
Totes. We have to look at you too, you know.
Yes, yeah. It's not all about us, damn it.
Exactly. So there are some pretty wild looks throughout the scene. Specifically, I'm thinking of Yoonho's pink camo trench coat.
Oh, yeah. That is a choice.
Indeed. It really reminds me of Destiny's Child, circa 2001, maybe.
I can see that, definitely.
So, again, looks great on him.
Where do you wear that, though? Like, what thing do you wear that to?
I don't know.
It's
honestly.
Great. It's great.
He can pull it off.
I like when he's wearing the turtle. We'll get to the fashion.
Okay.
I'll get to that later. Anyway.
So, they keep kind of peeking their heads out of their rooms because, Yoonho's like, well, let's, like, reconvene after 10 minutes so we can get washed up or whatever. So they keep peeking their heads out of their room to see if the other person is ready, since they don't want to be the first person out. Which, I don't really understand that mentality. Because, to me, I wouldn't want to be the last person. Like, I wouldn't want someone to be waiting on me.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. They're nervous, obviously.
It's awkward because they're living together.
Yeah.
In separate rooms. I think it'd be different if she had her own place.
Yes.
And he was supposed to meet her at the restaurant or meet her at
Pick
her
her
house.
up.
Yeah, something like that. But the fact that they're both living in the same house, just in separate rooms, it's a little bit awkward of like, what do we do? How does this work? It's a very different dating situation, I feel like. Yeah,
totally. So they finally meet up and they get going to the restaurant called Romantic Table in English.
We all thought that was very funny.
Yeah. And Donnie finally wears the necklace Yoonho bought her.
Cute.
And they're having a great date. They decide to go to a movie afterwards. And I want to know how you feel about the scene. Because it's kind of weird, but I really liked it. So during the movie, they hold hands, and then the screen starts describing what's happening between the two of them. So she's kind of like spelling out, like, I like you, or I like holding hands with you or something on his palm. And then he kisses the back of her hand. So romantic. And then she says, like, I like this even more. And he says he'll try to do more things that she likes. And her voiceover says that she also liked the kiss. So it's weird because they're basically doing like telepathy at this point. Because they're just kind of like looking at each other and nodding. But us as the viewer, we're hearing their voiceovers.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, are they supposed to just be, like, understanding each other? It's kind of weird. Like, you can't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
But they're so
She
cute
wrote
together.
on his hand that she likes holding his hand.
I think she says, like, I like this or something.
Okay, but that's the only thing she writes?
Okay.
Yeah, that is a little strange.
And then he kisses her hand. And so all the while, the screen is kind of like narrating what's going on. And we hear, as the audience, hear their voiceovers. Like their internal thoughts. So again, I guess just don't think about it too hard.
Maybe they're just like smiling and nodding at each other. Like, I like this hand thing. And like he kisses her hand and she's smiling and nodding. I don't know.
Yeah.
K-dramas.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Don't think about it too hard.
Just enjoy the moment.
But I have to take diligent notes, so I think about stuff too hard.
I feel ya.
I do the hard thinking for you.
Tough questions here. They get home, and while they're putting away groceries, Donnie tells Yoonho that Sojun's birthday is April 23rd, and how it's weird that it corresponds with the author's book. And Yoonho remembers that it's also his passcode to get into his house, because he needed to put it in. He was getting hating in. So that number is very important to him. I don't know what is happening in that whole situation.
I don't know.
A whole other can of worms that has yet to fully be out in the open, even to us.
Yes.
It's not like we're in the know and everyone else isn't.
Yeah.
We have no fucking clue. We then see Sojun go into his conspiracy theory room/office, and Yoonho is digging through boxes in the attic. Then he finds the manuscript for April 23rd, or April 23, which was previously titled Blue Night, but it was scratched out. He then remembers how he and Soju first fought about the author and then ended up.
So.
At that point, I was like, wait, is Sojun his son?
I was thinking.
And that's that sick author that's tied up with those fancy, newly purchased ropes. The guy was telling him, Yoonho is better than your own children, and Sojun's not there for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Alex was like, you called it. So apparently earlier I said that Sojun was this author's son. I don't remember
you saying that either.
Yeah.
I know we originally talked about Yoonho being his son.
Yeah. Maybe this was in the car ride. Because Alex, after we leave y'all's house,
you'll have a mini discussion.
Yeah, in the car ride home. But I don't know, because I think it's so interesting that the title, he originally titled it something else. And something happened on April 23rd.
And when was April 23rd written?
Oh,
was it maybe written when he was born? How old is this book?
I
don't know.
I don't know. So, okay. Let's do some math here. Okay. So we know that Yoonho got hired by Mr. Kim, relatively young. So, and he had his last works of that author and brought them to Goryeo as part of him being hired.
Yes.
So let's say Yoonho was 22. I don't know. I think he might have been even younger than that. And he is 5 years older, right? No, he's 3 years older than Sojun.
Yes.
So that would make Sojun 19, presumably around the time of that publication. That was just some quick math there. Fact check me if I'm wrong.
He could have also written it years and years ago.
That's true.
And it was maybe titled Blue
Night.
Whatever. And then when he gave it to Yoonho, changed the title.
That's true.
Who knows?
Because, it could have just been, a work that he had been sitting on. And kind of like how the Beatles, released...
Yes.
They released their last albums out of order.
Also, we've met Sojun's mom, but there was no word about a father.
Right.
Or where he is in the picture, what happened with him.
Right. I'm so confused. I want to keep watching.
I know. Ugh. I was so happy that we had another episode after the hand-holding incident. Because, I can't stop watching here. I need to watch another one. I need to find out what's going to happen next. This left me on, a questioning note. But I wasn't oh my god, I gotta keep going.
I think the romantic moments really propel, especially me, into the next episode.
Or if someone's on the verge of death, on Descendants before, it's oh my god.
It's death and romance. Mysteries, I can kind of ruminate and kind of think of
get excited,
my own conspiracy theories.
Get excited for
yeah. But I definitely. If I weren't watching this for the podcast, I would have already finished fucking,
or caught up.
Watch it twice over or something.
God.
So, yeah,
Fashion?
any other... Or, yeah. Do you have any other predictions?
Gosh. I'm assuming Donnie's going to try to do that anonymous thing. That poster competition. But I don't know when Yoonho is supposed to terminate her contract. because that wasn't specified.
Yeah.
Or, like, if he terminates it, is she there until the length of her contract ends and then would leave?
Right.
Or is it just like, bam, we're ripping up
like
your contract, you're done.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tricky. I don't know. I wonder if he actually does fire her.
Mm-hmm.
Or if he can, like, wiggle or worm his way or her way to staying.
Yeah, because he hasn't told her anything yet.
Yeah.
He still might be trying to figure out a way to get past it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so curious to see what happens with, like, hating and how she acts towards Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm so nervous because we were posting on Twitter about how, like, I love fucking Hating and Donnie together. And I was talking to, like, one of our listeners and being like, I hope they stay friends. And she just replied, you have to keep watching. So now I'm so nervous.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, I wouldn't like the other girl anymore.
No.
You know? It's hard.
It is hard because you're trying not to be competitive, but, like, it hurts your feelings. Like, okay, so this is the girl this dude prefers over me. Like, fuck, it hurts.
And especially if that person was supposed to be your friend.
Yeah.
And you ask that person, did you see anyone when you were at his house?
That's
and
true.
she's lying that whole time, you know?
I forgot Donnie lied.
So that
to her.
trust is just, like, fucking down the drain.
Yeah, she straight up lied. That's true. Oh. I just want all the women to be friends with each other.
Same.
I want Miss Go to be nicer to
Miss
Hating.
So and yeah, everyone.
I want Hating to be nicer to Jill.
Donnie is nice to everyone.
She is.
I must say. She's a great little human.
Yeah, so is Miss So. Miss So's funny. I hope Miss So gets back on her horse too. Yeah. And I wonder if she's dating someone. Like you said, I don't think she's actually dating anyone, but
yeah, we'll see.
We will see.
Could be.
So much goodness. So, fashion.
Yes, please.
Yes, God!
What look did you like from you?
I liked when he was wearing the shirt that she bought him with, like, the turtleneck underneath.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting look that I don't really see put together in the U.S.
Yes.
Like, I have a long button up. It's kind of silky looking with the turtleneck underneath.
I've seen that look a lot in K-dramas, and it really makes me realize how little we see turtlenecks.
Yeah.
And it's probably because we live in fucking South Texas. But those dudes are always rocking turtlenecks.
They look good. Yeah, I recently got a black turtleneck that I, like, love a lot. And I wear it even when it's not very cold outside.
Yeah.
It's a thin turtleneck, though.
But
I like it.
I need a thin turtleneck. I only have two... Well, technically, I have two turtlenecks, and I stole one of Alex's. Alex's is, like, the t-shirt material kind, but mine are more, like, sweatery.
Yeah. I got mine on Amazon. Very thin.
Okay. Cool.
Not expensive either. I think it was like $9 or something.
Sweet. But yeah, they really pull off turtlenecks. And I've noticed, how it's a common look to wear a turtleneck under a button-up without a collar. Or even with a collar, but, like...
It's an interesting look. I don't hate it.
No, yeah, I like it. And like you said, I don't see that look a lot in the U.S. I like Hating's blue and mint sweater shirt thing at the beginning, when Jill is, like, passing at her apology letter. It looks kind of vintage, and Hating has another, like, vintage-inspired look when he meets Sojun at the coffee shop where they fall asleep together. Like, I really like that exaggerated big collar. It looks very, like, early 70s to me.
Yeah, I also just always like, Donnie's sweaters, like the interesting sort of asymmetrical sweaters that she wears, or that have interesting prints, like where it just, like, changes halfway, or there's a little diagonal line. They're all really interesting. I'm into her sweaters.
This isn't really fashion, but I just noticed that while cleaning, Yoonho's apron is super fucking intense.
Yeah,
it looks
that,
like a
tan
welding
one, and it's got, like, buckles everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like a welding apron or something.
It looks very thick.
Yeah, it looks heavy.
It doesn't look like a normal apron.
No. It's like, this is a man's apron.
The manliest apron
Okay.
little Yoonho can get.
Yeah. And I already talked about the trench coat.
Yeah.
Very Destiny's Child.
Yeah, that trench coat is sick.
Mhm.
I want to see him wear that out.
I know. Let's see that trench coat. IRL. Out
Yeah.
in the wild.
Yeah, I'd like to see him, like, put it together in a whole look.
Mm-hmm.
I could see, like, an all-black outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Black pants, black turtleneck, and then the trench coat.
Uh-huh. Not those wide, like, cuffed.
Yeah, which he wore again in one of these episodes.
Yeah, I think it's when he's carrying Katie on his back.
Those pants are something. Another choice.
Yeah, and then Yoonho has that, like, really fluffy, like, teddy bear coat.
Mm-hmm.
I want one of those.
Yeah, I like him.
Those are really popular, I think, over there, too.
Side note, Andrew and I bought clothes from Yes Style recently.
Uh-huh.
Take, like, a month to get here.
Uh-huh.
But Andrew, it's like his first time ever buying, like, a large, like an extra large. I don't know what size he got.
Uh-huh.
But I'm very interested for it to arrive to see how it fits his body.
We need to have a little Yes Style fashion show.
Yes.
From y'all.
Yeah, he got, like, what's supposed to be a relaxed, nice, like, sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Because he likes seeing Yoonho in them. And,
Mhm.
like, everyone looks really, like, comfortable and relaxed in these big, oversized sweaters. I want one. So we'll see if it's actually oversized on him.
Was it like a one-size-fits-all situation, or was it actually, like, an extra large?
There were actually sizes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've ordered a few things on Yes Style that are one-size-fits-all, and they fit me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, like, a double XL on Yes Style,
Mm-hmm.
which is, like, an American small. So...
Yeah. He got a large or extra large. I don't remember which. But I had to measure him and be like, I don't think you should go for that size anymore. Change it.
Yes Style really makes you feel about your sizing. Just can't look at the tag, people.
Yeah. Excited for them to arrive, though.
Yeah. It's always fun. It's always kind of like, is this gonna
What
work?
am I gonna get?
Will this look like the picture?
Egon's talking about it. He's a little upset I didn't buy him anything. Because there is a pet section on Yes Style.
Such cute pet clothes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I love you moment.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you. I will always love you.
I love you.
You can go first.
Okay. I think my I love you moment has to be in the movie theater, which I know I kind of, like, shat on it earlier in the episode. I'm just curious about the logistics of it.
Yeah, what the hell it actually meant, what was happening.
Yes, but no, the whole, like, feeling behind it was so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it when he, like, tenderly kisses the back of her hand.
Yeah.
So cute. I think that moment gave me the most feels, like, romantically, like, besides, like, the holding hands behind the back thing.
Yeah, for me, I would say the holding hands bit, because it's just, like, a little bit exciting.
Yeah.
Because, like,
it's
out
really
in public,
yeah.
and, like, they're being super sneaky. Little sneaky snakes in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And they're giving each other eyes. And then also when she's sitting there by the author, and he's just, like, locked into her, super laser-focused and smile. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
That's so romantic.
It really is
exciting.
It's such an exciting moment. But
and you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Everyone's staring at them for different reasons. So good.
So it's a lot.
It's
a lot. But yeah, I just really love the back of the hand kiss.
I agree.
It's so sweet.
I'm so excited to watch another episode.
I know. So is Egon.
So is Egon.
Gosh. Yes. So, let us know what your I love you moment was. Who your favorite couple is in the show. Get in touch with us on Twitter at OKDramaPod, Instagram, OKDramaPodcast, Facebook, OKDramaPodcast. Email us your long questions and fanfic at okdramapodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, I really like talking to you guys.
Yeah, agree.
It's fun. And don't give us spoilers, but you can give me hints.
Don't
What's
even give me hints, please.
Jill is mostly on Instagram.
Yeah,
and
we
I
follow
mostly
the romance is a bonus book Instagram, and I kind of just scroll past it every time.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm afraid I'm going to see a GIF or a little clip of something that's going to spoil him.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff, but it's fine.
I'm not me.
I won't. I'm not spoiler averse, but I get it. Anyway, yeah, hang out with us online.
Yeah, we're always there.
Yes, and make sure you subscribe so you can hear us every Monday. Hopefully, we brighten your week a little bit.
Yeah.
And yes, I guess until next time.
Bye.
Bye.